Shaka, what do you make of the argument that maybe there is no peace to keep? So many people have died, and these leaders just keep talking about a peace process, peace talks, and nothing yields. Maybe I could also tie that into a Facebook commenter from Biret Shiferwa. Shaka, don't you think foreign interference, especially from Western countries, make it difficult to bring peace in South Sudan? I can also maybe add in the context of Uganda. Uganda is trying to play the role of a mediator, but it actually is taking a side. Your thoughts?
Uganda is definitely playing a very partisan role. There's no question about it. There's no question about, no doubt about who it supports, who it would like to be, to continue being president in Juba. It is Salva Kiir Mayardit. Perhaps because someone used to tell me, when it comes to power, people look at somebody who is quote-unquote malleable. It's quite possible that the Ugandan president looks at Salva Kiir as somebody who is malleable and therefore can actually control. Whereas if he looks at Dr. Riek Machar, who happens to have a PhD, and the other couple of degrees in engineering and what have you and stuff like that, who is remarkably sophisticated, who knows what happens in the international, the international community, how plays are, how dynamics are done and what have you, then he probably, develops some cold feet. He probably thinks that that is a sort of intellectual equal, if not superior, and therefore doesn't probably feel comfortable really with him. But these are dynamics of power. But then there are also reports that, the president of Sudan, al-Bashir, also happens to favor, or at least to back, Dr. Riek Machar. So I think sometimes you need something very different. Because if you talk about the kind of negotiations they are going through, someone might tell you that you are probably looking at a couple planning a marriage while concentrating on divorce. This has actually happened not once, but twice. So probably people may think about what some have suggested, that maybe, just maybe, remove these two principles out of the interim government. And I'm talking about President Salva Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar. Remove them out of these interim arrangements. Bring two other individuals to hold the fort so that these guys can actually eventually go and sell their messages among their people so that they surface when it is time for elections. This is something that probably actually could make a very big difference. But let's face it, these individuals, they have supporters, they have hangers on, they have people who benefit out of them. These people, they still are committed. They are still very sycophantic, very supportive of the individuals they support. So it's not a very easy thing to do. But I think ultimately, something has to be done, at least sincerely, in the interest of the ordinary South Sudanese citizen.